Hey there, Cowboys fan. Ready to dive into some fresh NFL news that directly impacts your Dallas Cowboys? Let's kick things off with something exciting. Hard Knocks is coming back. And for the first time in a few years, the Cowboys will be featured again. If you've watched Hard Knocks before, you know it's the NFL's behind-the-scenes reality series that follows teams through training camp, giving fans a rare glimpse into player personalities, coaching moments, and the grind of camp life. After a few seasons without the Cowboys showing up on the series, it's finally happening again. This time, the NFC East is the in-season focus, and the Cowboys will be sharing that spotlight with the Eagles, Commanders, and Giants. Now, don't expect a full playbook reveal or secret strategies. NFL teams are notoriously tight-lipped. They guard their secrets like state secrets because no one wants to give the competition any advantage. But even with that, Hard Knocks often gives us something special. Closer look at player stories and personalities you don't usually see on game day. Personally, I'm pumped about this. For any football junkie, and I know you're one, more access is always better. This is the kind of content that keeps us glued to our screens, especially during those late-night moments when you just want a little more football talk. So, tell me, will you be watching the NFC East Hard Knocks in-season series? Yes or no? Drop your vote in the comments because I want to know if this is going to be your new favorite binge this NFL season. And speaking of new, we've got a ton more NFL news coming up that also affects the Cowboys, so stick around. But first, let's talk Olympics and what they could mean for our team. All right, now let's switch gears for a moment and talk about something that might surprise you. The 2028 Summer Olympics coming to Dallas-Fort Worth. Yeah, the Cowboys' hometown is gearing up for a huge global event, and that's more important than you might think. You're probably wondering, what does the Olympics have to do with my Cowboys? Well, the short answer is a lot. Hosting the Olympics means a massive spotlight on Dallas as a sports city. It means investments in infrastructure, stadium upgrades, and a push to showcase the best the city has to offer, including your Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys already play at AT&T Stadium, which is one of the most iconic venues in the NFL. But with the Olympics, there's talk about enhancements that could benefit the team in the long run. Imagine better facilities, upgraded tech, and an even bigger reputation for the stadium and the franchise. That's the kind of momentum that can attract top-tier players and boost fan experience. Plus, the Olympics create a unique cultural moment for Dallas, and that energy often spills over into local teams. Increased visibility means more sponsorships, partnerships, and community involvement, all of which help the Cowboys build a stronger brand beyond just football. But here's what I want to hear from you. How do you think the Olympics will impact the Cowboys? Will it help them attract better talent, or do you think it won't change much? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to vote on the poll. Olympics hype, boost or no boost for the Cowboys? Stay tuned because next up, we're diving into a key Cowboys story. A subtle message Micah Parsons sent to the front office that every fan needs to know about. Now, let's get to the heart of it. Micah Parsons. You know him as one of the most dynamic players in the NFL, a guy who's not just making plays, but also shaping the culture of the Cowboys. But recently, Parsons dropped a subtle message that you, as a fan, should really pay attention to. What happened? Well, Parsons was spotted in a moment that might have seemed small, but was actually loaded with meaning. Without making a big deal, he sent signals about how he sees his role, the team's direction, and what he expects from the front office. It wasn't in an interview or a flashy statement. It was in how he carried himself, the way he communicated with coaches and teammates, and even in his social media activity. Here's the deal. Parsons is clearly invested in the Cowboys' success, but he also wants to see the team fully committed to winning now. He's one of those players who understands the value of patience, but isn't willing to settle for mediocrity. That means he's expecting the front office to be aggressive in building a championship team around him. This message is subtle, but it's powerful. It's like Parsons is saying, I'm all in, but you need to be too. And for the Cowboys, that's a challenge and an opportunity. How the front office responds could define this era of Cowboys football. So, what do you think? Is Micah Parsons sending a message that the Cowboys need to hurry up and get serious about their championship window? Or do you think the front office is already on the right track? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Also, vote in the poll. Parsons' message, pressure or motivation for the Cowboys? Next, we'll unpack how this message fits into the bigger picture of the Cowboys' off-season moves and what it means for the upcoming season. Stay with me. Picking up where we left off, let's talk about how Micah Parsons' subtle message is already echoing through the Cowboys' off-season decisions. You might have noticed some key moves in free agency, the draft, and even in coaching that seem aligned with the kind of urgency Parsons is pushing for. Parsons isn't just a standout player. He's a leader whose mindset impacts everyone around him. The front office knows this. So when they sign a player or draft a prospect, they're factoring in how those choices support Parsons and the team's competitive timeline. For example, the Cowboys have been targeting players who can immediately contribute, especially on defense where Parsons plays. That's not a coincidence. It shows they're trying to build a defense that can support Parsons' aggressive style and keep the team competitive week in and week out. And it's not just about players. Coaching staff changes reflect this push too. Bringing in assistants who understand the high expectations and can maximize Parsons' talents is a clear sign that the team wants to keep the momentum going. But here's the real question for you. Do you think the Cowboys' front office is moving fast enough to match Parsons' hunger? Or are they still too cautious, risking the chance that Parsons might get frustrated and look elsewhere? Let me know your take in the comments below, and here's a quick poll for you. Which offseason move best shows the Cowboys are listening to Parsons? Is it the draft picks, free agency signings, or coaching changes? As we get closer to training camp, this dynamic will only get more interesting. Parsons' message isn't just a one-time thing. It's a theme that could shape the entire season. Next, we'll break down what that means for the locker room and the team's chemistry heading into the new year. All right, now let's dive into the locker room. Micah Parsons' message isn't just for the front office or coaches. It's a direct call to his teammates. When a player of his caliber sets a tone like this, it naturally shifts the entire team's mindset. Parsons demands accountability and intensity every single day. That kind of energy can be contagious. Players start pushing each other harder, the practice intensity rises, and everyone understands that coasting is not an option. The Cowboys are a team with talent, no doubt, but sometimes talent alone isn't enough. Parsons' leadership adds that extra edge. You might wonder how the younger players respond. For rookies and new additions, Parsons' message is a clear signal about the culture they're entering. It's a culture of discipline and high standards. For veterans, it's a reminder not to get comfortable because Parsons is always challenging the status quo. But there's a flip side. Sometimes when one player is so vocal and driven, it can create tension if others don't match the same level of commitment. That's something to watch this offseason and training camp. Will Parsons' message unify the Cowboys or cause some friction? I want to hear what you think. How important is Parsons' leadership for the Cowboys' success this season? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And here's a quick question. Who else on the Cowboys do you think needs to step up their leadership game? As we wrap up, remember that Parsons' message isn't just words. It's a mindset that could make or break the Cowboys in 2025. Stay tuned for more updates and insights right here on Cowboys News TV.